Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Sid's Little Corner of the Internet. We have a NECA figure review coming your way. This time around, we're going to be taking a look at the NECA The Thing Ultimate Mccready Outpost 31. So as we always do, let's go ahead and take a look at that packaging. And right up top, it is the Ultimate in Alien Terror. And I do have to say, this box looks really cool. I love the shiny material they used here for this. And down low, you have The Thing Ultimate Mccready Outpost 31. Over here on the side, The Thing Ultimate Mccready, Neca Real Toys. On the back, you do get a very brief bio, so I will hold that still so you can read that if you choose to do so. And then you have your product shots. Everything looks great. Down here, you do have the list of all your accessories. And over here, The Thing, Ultimate Mccready, Neca Real Toys. Up top, The Thing. Down low, you do have the design credits. And as Sid always says, Randy, you've done it again. Opening it up, you've got a product shot right there, and then you have the little display area here where you could see Mccready with all of his accessories when he's still in the box. So that is it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and crack this guy open and see everything that came inside that box. Behold, laid out here in front of your eyes is everything that comes with that Ultimate Mccready. And we'll start with the hands, and we'll take a look just with this first hand right here. So this is a right hand, and you've got good detail in there. Not too bad at all. All right, and then we have our gloved hands. So we'll take a look at these two hands when we look at his details, but we'll start with those gloved hands. So you've got a left gloved hand right there. It looks really good, and it is designed to hold that shotgun. And then we'll take a look at this right gloved hand. And this one, I'm not entirely sure. I think you can hold the bottle with this one, and that's about it. And then you've got another gloved hand. All right, so that takes care of all the hands. Now, while we're talking about the hands, you do get these. These are the extensions for the gloves. So when you put the gloved hands on Mccready, you're going to want to put these on as well. And then these just make looks like the gloves go up over the coat. So you do get two of those, one for each arm. All right, and the next thing we'll talk about is the little whiskey glass. This thing's pretty cool. So it does, of course, look like he's got a little bit of whiskey in there with a piece of ice. So really good detail there, and you can see this isn't the largest thing in the world, so very well done. And he has his goggles. So those came out looking pretty darn good. All right. Next up, he has his sunglasses. So these are those full coverage sunglasses that do a good job when you're down in the Antarctic ice. All right. And then we'll move on to the lamp. And this lamp, although it is incredibly detailed, it looks absolutely wonderful. I will tell you from experience, it's real easy to break right here. Nobody tell Sid, because this is technically his action figure. I'm just doing the review for him. But yeah, I had to glue this back, and it's just really fragile. This is very thin and fragile, so handle with care. But yeah, overall the detail is amazing on this lamp. All right. And then we'll get to the whiskey bottle itself. This is just like how we saw in the movie. And it is a great amount of detail on there. It's really cool. All right. No lid, though. All right, and now we're just down to the last few. So let's take a look at his hat. So that looks really good. And it's it feels like cloth, but I don't think it is. I think it is just plastic that has a texture on it that gives it a cloth feel. And then you do have this little tie down here to keep it around his head. Yeah, that looks good. And we'll take a look at that shotgun. So details pretty decent on this, considering its size overall. Try to give you some contrast there. All right. And then he does come with 2 additional heads. We'll start right here. Now both of these have the winter head sock on them, and these are the heads that you use for the hat. So just to give you an idea. So this first head is his, I don't know, I guess exasperated look, maybe. But I think that captures him pretty well. I mean, that's definitely an exasperated Kurt Russell. And then you have nice texturing all the way around for that head sock. And then he's just a empty bauble up there. But yeah, even this beard came out looking pretty good. All right, and going on to our final accessory. This is his angry head. Ooh, he's an angry head. That looks good. I mean, even those teeth. Job well done there. And the paint applications and the eyes, all that looks great. Yeah, really well done. Same thing, head sock all the way around. Good detail. Yeah, he's angry. Urgh. All right, so that is it for the accessories. So what we'll do now is we will bring in Mr. Mccready for his close-up. Boy, I just got to say, this figure looks really well done. I mean, does such a good job of capturing Kurt Russell from the movie, and just anecdotally, this was one of my favorite horror movies, maybe ever. It's still one that even to this day I very much enjoy watching if I catch it on. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the details here of Mr. Mccready. And this is his contemplative face, and he has that wonderful, wonderful Kurt Russell hair that we all wish we could have. Looks good all the way around, and then coming down here to the chest. This has a bit of a feel like a leather jacket, and you can see it's got that little bit of the squish there where he has the rest of the body underneath. So it kind of gives you that give that a jacket would as well. Got a couple pockets there. Paint apps look good. Coming on down to those parachute pants. I don't know, many, many, many zippers. There you go. And he's got something in his pocket right there. I guess we'll never know what it is. Coming on down to those boots. Looks good. He laces all the way up. That's good. And then down under, you have a little bit of tread on those boots. All right. Coming around to the back. Looks good. Looks like Elvis or maybe the Fonz right there. And then coming on down, everything all the way around looks good. And let's take a look at those hands. So these are the other pair of hands that you get. They're the kind of sort of almost trigger pointy hands. Yeah, looks good. Now, as far as articulation goes for this figure, the head is on the ball joint, so you do get a little bit of up. But you get your side to side, you get down, and you can go with this head. If you push, you can go all the way around, but then his hair starts getting in the way. Not saying you couldn't do it, just saying that maybe you shouldn't. Besides, how disturbing is that? I mean, it looks like that. That's not right. He looks like Cousin It. Down here at the shoulder, you can raise those shoulders up that far. You can take them all the way around, full 360. You can bend that elbow over 90 degrees, and then you do have bicep rotation just as part of that elbow joint. And then down here at the hands, these hands, you can move them out, you can move them in, you can rotate them around. So good range of motion there. You do have waist rotation, so you can take that all the way around, and then you do have a little bit of an ab crunch, and then a little bit of a back bend. Not a lot, but enough to get him in some poses. And down here at the hips, you're going to get that far apart, which I would have expected more out of Kurt Russell, but it is what it is. And you can kick forward about that far, so it's not the greatest, and then kick backward about that far. And then at the knee, you're going to get just under 90. And then down here at the feet, you get rotation right up here at the top of the boot, and then you get downward pointing and a little bit of upward, and then you get ankle tilt out just a little bit, and ankle tilt in just a little bit. All right, so that is it as far as the details and articulation goes for the ultimate Mccready. So what we'll do now is we'll get this guy all accessorized up and we'll take a look at him in a couple of different modes with some accessories on. And here we see Ultimate Mccready accessorized up in version 1, or what I'll call version 1 if you will. So in this circumstance he has his angry head on, and he has those snow goggles to keep the wind, or those wind goggles to keep the wind out of his eyes. And he's got his hat on, of course, because he doesn't go anywhere without his hat. And then he has his gloves on, and he has that shotgun. And yeah, he looks fantastic, all accessorized up right here. So yeah, I mean, he just an overall great presence as far as a figure goes, and this really captures, you know, just the feel of that movie. So job well done here with everything. I mean, I love the fact that this hat, you know, just goes right on top of those sock heads, and those goggles look great. So yeah, I think this looks really good. So let's go ahead and move on into the Ultimate Mccready Accessorized Part 2. And for Part 2 of the accessories portion for the Ultimate Mccready, here we see him again wearing his iconic hat, but he has his other face on, his trepidatious, slightly concerned face, I guess. And here he is going down a dark passageway, holding that lantern out, trying to light his way and make sure he doesn't become the victim of the thing. And he still has those gloves on. But yeah, I mean, even just with something as simple as these accessories, what a cool way to capture the look of the movie, or a scene from the movie. So yeah, it looks really good here. So what we'll do now is we'll move on to the accessories portion, Part 3. This will be the final part, and we'll take a look at him there. And for our final accessories portion, here we see Mccready. Now technically this would be before all the bad stuff happened. He would be pouring himself a nice tall glass of whiskey, but in this case I'm using my imagination here. He's got the sunglasses on, he's a cool dude, he's almost Terminator level here. In my mind he has just vanquished the thing. The Arctic station has not burned down. He's not going to freeze to death. He's just boozing it up. He's partying. He's happy that he took care of the thing. So that's my happy ending for this movie. And yeah, I mean, what better way to end the accessories portion than, you know, maybe with a little bit of partying and alcohol abuse. So yeah, there you go. All right, now that we've got the accessory portion out of the way, Mccready says, let's live it up and party. Time to move on to some comparisons. All right, so for our first comparison, here we see the NECA Ultimate Mccready next to Master Chief from Halo. For our next comparison, here we have the NECA Ash from the original Alien movie. Here he is next to Captain America because, hey, why not? And for our final comparison, here we see the NECA Ultimate Mccready next to the Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom Leader Class Optimus Prime. And what would you look at that? Who knew Optimus Prime liked to party as well? And he looks good in a hat. All right, everybody, so let's talk real briefly about the NECA Ultimate Mccready Outpost 31 from The Thing. I like this figure. I like, of course, almost everything that NECA puts out. They put a lot of care and design and detail into everything that they do, so that's always appreciated. But in particular, I enjoy this figure because I grew up with this movie. It was one of my favorite horror films, and to see Mccready captured as he looked on screen and to be able to, you know, kind of role play some of those scenes is really cool for me. So I very much enjoy this figure. I will say that overall aesthetics, he looks good. Everything that they have done here just works. So I have no issues at all. I think they captured Kurt Russell really well here, and all of the accessories that you would expect to see him as far as the Outpost 31 version goes. He looks really good. Articulation on NECA figures is always really well done. Now there are always some places where it would be nice to have a little bit of additional flexibility, you know, maybe something more in those legs and maybe a little bit more mobility in the feet, but for the most part you can do what you want to do with this guy as far as any type of posing. So Articulation's not a real big deal. Now, moving on to the accessories, this guy is absolutely loaded with accessory. He has more accessories than what you're going to be able to use at any given point. So, and you can mix and match them to kind of make your own thing here. So, yeah, accessories are absolutely fantastic. Overall quality on this figure is very well done as well. There aren't any issues that I have as far as the sculpt work. Any kind of molding defects or paint defects or anything missing, all that is really well done. The biggest complaint that I can say is one of the non-gloved hands on the right-hand side. When you plug it in, it's just a tick loose. I would have liked it to have been a little bit tighter, but it's not detrimental at all. So overall quality is really good too. And overall value, this is right on par with every other NECA figure that's out there. We picked this up at a local Walmart. It was $30 US. And that's pretty much what you pay for NECA figures here in North America. So I do have to say that I think he brings a little bit more value than some of the others that I've seen, just simply from the accessories and from the job well done here. So overall, I would say I think this guy's a pretty good value. And so just to sum it up, if you are a NECA collector, you know you're probably going to get this. If you're a casual collector and you're big into horror movies or The Thing, I think this guy is a perfect figure to have on your shelf. I mean, it's definitely a conversation piece for your fellow aficionados of horror films. And I think for the most part, just even as a general action figure, this guy is really well done. So I would say without hesitation that I can recommend this figure. And if you can find him, to pick him up. I think he's really cool. So with that, we're going to wrap up the review. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. As always, appreciate the views and the comments and everything. And if you haven't already done so, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, as we'll keep bringing more of this stuff out to you guys. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this figure. I'm always interested to hear what everybody else has to say, and see if anybody else grew up watching The Thing, probably when they were younger than they should have been when they saw it. So with that, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Until we see you in the next review, take care.